Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here on the early ride to work Sunday evening from the militant state of Michigan. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about the worst thing about this thing that's going on around the world right now, and mostly about in our country with the stay-at-home orders and stuff like that. I think the worst part about this whole thing is that what could be or might be a public health crisis has been politicized. It's really brought down the discussion really to a binary, either for or against. And that's sad, because when it becomes for or against, it also becomes dismissive. So if you're against for instance, if you are the governor, or if you side with the governor, when they come out with a new mandate or a new stay-at-home order, and if you're against it, well, you're just a knuckle-dragging Trump supporter, and it really doesn't care what you think, because you're always going to think opposite of what our duly elected governor thinks. So the discussions become so they can just dismiss your opinion or dismiss your stance. Now, it happens on both sides. I mean, when the duly elected governor of Michigan comes out and says something, everybody on the right is rather dismissive of her science, her get back to work order, because they think it's just political for the most part. But something happened this weekend that gives us a little bit of hope that it isn't all political. And that was from a Chicagoland reporter. I'm not sure what his last name is, but his Twitter handle is TV Brad. TV Brad thought he had the scoop of the year. And scoop, no pun intended. Which was, he had found, or maybe got wind of, a ice cream truck in the Hoffman Estates area, probably in the burbs of Chicago, which can really probably only mean a couple of things. But anyways, this brave reporter named Brad confronted this ice cream good humor man. What are you doing? Stay-at-home order. You're all selling ice cream, no masks, not staying home, no social distancing. Brad really thought he had himself a hot news segment here. And I think he was very proud of himself. And the only thing that really probably slightly saved Brad's butt, but was that Hoffman Estates, that community doesn't allow this type of sales vendoring or whatever in the area. But Brad didn't know that, and you can watch it. It's, like I said, it's his Twitter handle is TV Brad. You can go out there and watch it. He didn't confront the guy and say, hey, what are you doing? You're not allowed to sell that kind of stuff in here. It was, what are you doing? No mask, no gloves, no social distancing. Well, like I said, Brad made this, and then his TV station posted it. Now, this didn't necessarily come from anybody on the right. This didn't come from anybody on the left. This was a true virtue signaling individual and article that was sent out to anybody that watches this TV station. And Brad's Twitter account blew up. And they weren't telling him what a great job he did. And I'll only quote one Twitter response, which was something along the lines of 54 people died in Chicago in April, and you hunt the ice cream man. So maybe there is a little bit of hope that when people just sort of get the raw information and they're allowed to decide on their own, that they're making decisions that maybe don't seem to be flowing with the mainstream narrative. So with that, check out TV Brad on Twitter, check out the video, and then read the Twitter responses. With that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.